Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So on my blog, I show how I made my fortune in real estate. Starting at 19 years old, millionaire by 28. Wrote a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Shortly after my book came out, it was very popular. People were asking me to mentorship, and I did do mentorship. And you're going to see one of my first testimonials from one of my first classes. I've only done one class. About to start the second, by the way, and you'll see details of that. This is a great story. Hope you enjoy it. Tom here. This is, I'm interviewing my first mentorship. The first mentorship I just recently concluded. And Liam here is one of my first, what I call the founding members class. And, he's got a great story. We've already, I'm very pleased just because it shows that what I am teaching can be taught, right? What do you think?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's more than the means and methods, the basis of the book, but there's just so much more. When you see somebody that's 100% credible and that'll turn around and I could explain in about 2 months' time things that I'm doing that I would say there's no way that would happen.
Yep.
But when you study value and pinpoint specific neighborhoods and you got your numbers down to a square foot price, you have the deal and knowing value.
Right.
That's what I nothing else from Tom. You have to know value.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Liam, when I remember, as I recall, because you were one of the later signups, kind of when I was just like, I got to close this thing up. And Liam had called me, and he didn't even have a computer. He was having trouble getting logged on and everything else in the beginning. And from what I understood, you just wrapped up a long career doing something else, right?
Yeah, I was in the Carpenters local for 26 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, so you're a handy guy. That's going to come in handy with the stuff that you're doing because you know how to pick a sub, right?
Yeah, I've run major work in the city, New York City, and yeah, so I have that.
Liam had come to me and he'd already bought the book. Of course, that's prerequisite. You got to buy my book before you take my mentorship class. He had written me an email and I said, oh, yes. And I just called him because it's easier for me to make a phone call. and so shortly after that, he joined up. And, you're a lot like me. I can tell. You want to just dig in. You want to dig in and get things rolling. And he really did. So tell us a little bit about your purchase and what you did before that. I think you started to get into another one and then you thought, better not. And, you made your decision ultimately, but share with you, if you would, just so everybody can understand. And he's just been out of the class less than 3 weeks, I guess, 2 weeks probably.
Let me just say, all right, here's the deal. I was scouting my target neighborhoods and I found a house, leaning over, liked it, loved the area. So contact the agent and buy the house. It's a knockdown. While I'm in the meeting with the real estate agent, there's somebody outside the agent. He's waiting, and I'm thinking, well, this is my guy. So I go over, start talking to him. He's the owner. He says, oh, you explain to him what I'm doing. He says, Vinny, the agent, won't be here for a half hour. Let's take a ride. Go over. He says, I got this duplex here. This guy's jerking me around. He says, I like you. Spoke to him. Boom, boom, boom. This is my bottom number. I says, could you give me a day or two? He says, sleep on it. Call me in the morning.
Right.
Went home. Hour later, purchased the property. That was 6 weeks ago. And I have a verbal offer. Nothing in writing now, but it's good. Selling. It's going to be very simple. And
you mean you've closed the deal? You've already closed the deal. You own it.
I own it, fully renovated.
Yeah.
I'm getting my C of O inspection, and it's going to turn out to be a very good one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So tell me, for the people watching, what do you attribute from, you don't have to be specific, but do you give any credit to the course that you took, or what do you think, because I want people to know what value they get, that you got out of my mentorship or the book, that took you here.
The most value that I get from watching you is seeing somebody and saying, listen, it works. It's just knowing value and knowing that you say it. Take a chance on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't give your money to nobody. I called, I got from the Carpenters Union, I had a nice annuity. I decided on a Friday I was going to retire. Monday morning, I called the annuity. I said, send it all. They said, penalty. I said, send it all. I don't need it in 15 years. I want it now. And a week later, I retired.
We had Ron, if you remember Ron in the class, he by his own calculations, he's already made over $200,000, and he's on fire where he's at. But
still having kids. Guy's older than me.
9.
Still having kids.
I know, he's got 9.
God bless you, Ron.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and by the way, if you join up in the mentorship, we are kind of like a family. We all have a very similar interest, and there's no conflicts of interest with us because we're not partnering, we're not competing with each other, we're supporting each other, but we're asking questions, and even we all get better from it. It keeps me on point too, and I've been buying 1 to 3 properties for 39 years. So I've done, or maybe 1 to 5 properties. Sometimes I bought 10 in a year or less, or more than that in a year. But on average, probably something like that. And it's those experiences that I've had all of these years that is why I know what I know, and I put it in my book. And guys like Ron recognize it, and they, it's a quick read too, right? Would you say it's a quick read? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I haven't read a book in 20 years. People say, oh, I haven't read it. Yeah. Okay. I haven't read a book in 20 years. 2 sittings, read the whole thing, gave the book to my daughter, bought myself a new one. Right? So I know you said you had taken that as the highest compliment. I have a daughter 26 years old.
Yeah.
And I have her, she's working for me now. This is what I need help with. So
that's great. And I tell you that is the really that's the highest compliment you can give me, is that you enjoyed the book so much, or you believe in what I'm showing you and teaching you, that you actually hand it to your kid. I mean, who would pass something to their kid if they didn't 100% believe in what they're doing? And the fact is, I wrote the book really for my kids. I have 4. I have twin boys that are 17. I've got girls 25 and 22, and they're in college. One just got out, the other one's still in college. You would never profess to your children something to do if you didn't wholly believe in it. And so that's why I take it as such a compliment, because I mean, it's better than, let me tell you what's better, because a lot of adults, what they do is they go, don't do what I did. You know what I mean? They sit there and express their regrets to their kid about, don't do this and don't do that, because I regret it. And so how wonderful that you got to pass on something that you believe in, and you're already making money. And so by your estimation, what do you think you're going to make on this deal?
75,000 clean.
Nice. That's sweet, man. That's great. And so you ended up running into the owner of a property, and by looking at other property, and you picked up. And it's like something I always tell everybody that takes my classes: always be inquisitive, always ask. If they don't have what you want, just say, do you got anything else? Right? Do you got anything else? And that's kind of like what sounds like what you did.
Well, it's another thing too, is I'm a face-to-face guy, and when like-minded people run into like-minded people, you recognize that immediately.
Yep.
And boom, this dude's a union iron worker.
There you
I'm
go.
in union construction.
Yeah.
Right off I could see he's there in an orange shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I changed my shirt because I was coming on TV. Solid guy.
Yeah.
Start talking to him, boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, we had a deal. We had a deal, and the beauty of it was, and I wanted, this is an excellent hold property,
Yeah, yeah.
by the way.
It's going to cash flow.
Low end, 3,600.
Wow.
Okay, high end, because of the voucher, they have vouchers in the neighborhood. From what I understand, they pay 2,000. Okay, it's a 2-family legal duplex.
So you get
And
3,600 a month.
3,600 a month, and you could push for a little bit more if you wanted to.
Wow. And you're getting that off of an investment that totals how much with your improvements, you figure?
I did it for about $24 a square foot, so I'm at like 230 all in, like 235-ish.
235,000, and you're getting a 3,600 a month rent. That's a good deal. You will be able to borrow money against the asset that you have.
I sat with this and thought with this. There's other things that you don't know. I mean, I came out. I bought 4 properties, by the way. This is only what I'm telling you about. So I'm tied up to my eyeballs now.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you want to have a little cash on hand. Okay.
That's why I'm selling. That's why I'm selling, because it'll be an easy sell. It'll be a nice profit, and it'll be 0 finance charge.
I got you.
What I'm saying. So I get my capital back, and then the investment goes out and put them to work.
Gotcha.
So when I want that money back, I got other deals that got to work.
I understand, man. And it sounds like you've got some opportunities in your area, maybe a higher amount than normal, or maybe not. I mean, deals are everywhere. No matter where you are, there's deals. There's always another deal. You know, even the 5 acres that I just bought, I was second in line on another one that I preferred over it, but I kept shopping. I wasn't going to count on the guy that was in front of me failing. So I kept looking and kept looking and kept looking. And then I found something. Guess what? The one I found is even better than that one. And right now, if I had a choice between the two, I'd buy the one for the $1 million that I got rather than the other for, you know, that's a little further away. This one's got more, you know, it's got more things going for it. It's closer to town. It's flat. You know, it's got more potential. It'll rent for more. And so anyways, but man, Ron, that is an awesome story. And Ron has, well, we got to record, but you got such a good looking boy there. Is that your youngest?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's nice because he's got a son young enough that can help him with the technology. You got to help him to get on Zoom here today.
I got three children, two daughters and my son.
And so the oldest is a 26-year-old?
Yes.
And then
newly married.
It's nice, you know, as the kids get older and you see them turning out right. And you know what I mean? You kind of go, okay, good. I don't have to worry about them. Or even if they're even as young as your boy, you go, oh, this kid's got a great attitude. I'm not going to have to worry about him. You know what I mean?
You know what he asked me? I'm not kidding. He turned to me when we're watching, and this was something from previous. It wasn't something that it was just that. He asked me what a tax lien sale is.
That's awesome.
I wanted to cry. I was all broken up when he asked me that.
That's fantastic. No, it's, you know what, I'll tell you what, the kids, just by osmosis from being around you, but they learn, they hear you talk, they hear you make deals, they see what you're watching, and they're picking up on what you're watching. And, you know, it's funny because, like you say, you know, your kids, you go, oh, wait, I didn't quite understand that. And rather than, yeah, bring them out.
Sorry. Let him say hello.
But yeah, it's funny because, like I say, it's nice when you do got the kids because, hey there, and I forgot, what's your name? James. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you hang with your dad pretty tight, it sounds like, right? Yeah. And you watch some of the videos he watches, and he's good. Oh, is that right? Nice. And what do you think of this new investment he's got?
Good.
Awesome. No, that's awesome. Well, Liam, I tell you, I appreciate you taking time to talk about your story, and to, you know, because it gives other people hope, and you know, so many people have doubt that they can do things because it's something new or it's something they're not familiar with, and you know, and it's easier than you thought, right? I mean, it's
yes, it's when you know value. And then you listen to a man like Tom. He gives you confidence to say, you know what? don't hand your money over. You could do this. You know what I'm saying? I don't think if your mind is into this, I think that's a prerequisite of being able to do it. Just forget about the fear. A little fear, but too much fear is going to just hold people back forever.
Right.
So
Right.
know your value and get out there.
Yeah. Knowing value eliminates fear. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good fear, because I tell everybody the only thing you should be afraid of is that they're not going to
Reject
sign
the
your
offer.
contract.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the kind of fear you want. It's like, I'll tell you, it's been a wonderful lifestyle. I tell everybody, look, this has been my lifestyle since I was 19 years old. And I don't stress and strain about, should I do this or not? Is this a mistake? I stress and strain is that, oh, please sign my offer, because it's like I'm going to be upset if I didn't win the lottery. I mean, it's like you win the lottery. It's kind of like winning a lottery, a small ticket, right? When you do the right thing and you achieve a huge equity on a property that you just bought, and then pretty soon you sell it and you realize that profit. It's a great problem to have. If you're gonna have worries about, gee, I wish I'd have made more money. I mean, it's a fantastic situation to be in, and I'm just glad, man. Thanks so much for sharing. And you've been in the groups, you've watched. We got people young, old, every different race, every different age and sex, and it's a good thing. It's pretty cool.
All right, Tom. Thanks, and hopefully, don't not too much of this ends up on the cutting room floor.
Thanks again, and I'm going to conclude this. Give me 1 second.
Thank you. Good night.
I hope you enjoyed that video interview. Great guy, really, really good family man. It was really nice to hear about his result and just hear his story. And there's guys just like him all over. If you haven't seen some of my other testimonials from the people that took my course, my first course I ever taught. And this is already the results we got. So very excited about it. But be sure to get the book. If nothing else, get the book, folks. There's a lot of scammers out there and people that'll take your money and try to talk you into different things. And if that's what you want to do, do it. Everybody's responsible for themselves. Do what you want to do. But if you like the story and you want to invest $10, $20 and get a feel for real estate before you take some big plunge that you may regret forever, then get my book. It's a safe bet for $10, $20. If you want to take it a step further, you can take you can get my mentorship. I send you a package, but you're completely taught by me. Okay, I don't give you a pile of paperwork and say, hey, see you later. Not that way. That's not the way I work. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. And listen, there are no bad real estate properties. There's just bad deals. Don't make a bad deal and you'll make some money. So thanks. Take care.